F124 has a range of different driving assists to make this game more accessible than ever. One of the most helpful assists is the dynamic racing line, and you'll often find even the most seasoned F1 sim racer using this assist. It's just that helpful. The racing line can really help you learn a track quickly, or give you indicators of where to position your car and when to brake. As you progress and learn the art of racing in F124, you can limit the racing line to just show you the braking points into a corner, and eventually aim to turn it off completely. In this video, I'm going to share my top tips on how to master racing without the racing line in F124. First off, let's just quickly look at how the racing line works. This assist projects a coloured line onto the track, showing you the ideal place to position your car throughout a lap. It also changes colour from green to red to show you when to brake and when to accelerate. This is incredibly helpful, especially if you're racing a new track or trying to really master one you already know. However, with enough use, some players can become overly dependent on the racing line, resulting in them simply following the directions laid out in front of them, rather than actually learning a track and pushing its limitations. It's important to note that the racing line won't always represent the perfect place to position your car. You can often brake later than indicated, and often position your car slightly wider or a slightly different line to the racing line will be the perfect route through a turn. If you're really chasing additional lap time and looking to improve beyond simply learning a track, disabling the racing line is the way to go. This will not only increase immersion and realism, but it will also allow you to push the limitations of each corner and truly learn and master a circuit. When disabling the racing line for the first time, I can almost guarantee you'll forget the perfect place to brake at each corner. This can result in a slower lap time than the times you're putting in with the racing line. The remedy for this is to use landmarks and items around the track to remember the perfect braking zone. This can be a brake marker board, a curb or a mark on the track, or just an item off to the side like a fence or an advertising board. I'd recommend running a few laps with the racing line enabled, and at every corner, try to find something that is on screen at the exact time you need to start braking. Then once you disable the racing line, you can use that new marker that you just found as your reference to start braking into that corner. Once you have a brake marker for every turn, and your lap times are back up to a similar pace as they were before, you can start pushing the limitations of each corner. Brake a split second later than you did on the previous lap, try to carry more speed through the corner apex, and these experimentations are generally how you'll quickly start to improve your overall pace. Once you feel comfortable that you've got a brake marker for each corner and you're braking consistently, you can then focus on ensuring you're on the right racing line through each turn. With the racing line enabled, it's pretty easy, you can just follow the line. However, without it, you may start to deviate from this line from time to time. One of the best rules to apply to most corners if you're struggling to figure out what the right racing line is to start out wide on your entry, turn in towards the apex, and then drift back out wide on the exit of the corner. This approach can be applied to most corners in F124, and it's a great starting point. Of course, there are some turns that require a slightly unique racing line. These include multiple corner sequences or corners with multiple apexes, such as turns 1 to 4 at China. Your goal at every corner is to get around it with the highest minimum speed possible. This is the term given to the slowest speed you travel around a corner. Increasing your minimum speed will generally result in less time spent in the turn, so doing this at every corner will lead to faster lap times. The best way to increase your minimum speed is to reduce the amount of steering input you apply into a corner. On the approach, you should be positioning your car out as far wide as you can. Doing this will result in a corner that's less tight, resulting in less steering input required and a potentially higher minimum speed. At some corners, you can even position your car right over the edge of the track and onto a curb to really push the width of the track. Obviously, don't do this if there's grass on the edge or if this is going to cause instability under braking. As you start to slow your car down, keep an eye on your turning point and the corner apex. At most turns in F124, you'll want to hit the apex, either clipping the inside curb or getting as close as you can without touching it if the curb is a little bit large. Hitting every single apex will shorten the track, as your car will be physically travelling a shorter distance through a corner. Again, you can push the limitations at some corners, driving right over the inside curb if it's low enough. But be wary of larger curves or sausage curbs, as these can cause you to lose time if you hit them too hard. Then once again, use the full width of the track on the exit of a corner. Don't be afraid to open up your steering and run your car really far out wide towards the edge of a track. The perfect racing line through most corners will actually encourage this. Applying less steering input on the exit can allow you to accelerate harder earlier. One of the keys to driving without traction control in F1 is to actually straighten your car before you really accelerate hard. Running out wide of the exit of a corner is a great way to straighten your car early. Now before I end this video, I want to run through 5 really quick tips for mastering racing without a racing line in F1 24. The first is to start with the racing line enabled to actually help you learn a new track and learn when and where to brake and accelerate. Second, keep an eye out for braking point references for each corner while the racing line is enabled. Third, disable the racing line, replace the line with your new braking reference points. Number 4, try following other cars during practice sessions. This can help you learn when they brake and what line they use through a corner. 5, use the rule of starting out wide, cutting to the inside to hit the apex, and then drifting back out wide on the exit, as this will get you through most corners in a pretty efficient way. Let me know in the comments below what tips you use for actually learning to drive without assists and whether you're using the racing line or not. If you found anything useful in this video, smack that like button and always consider subscribing as well, as it helps our channel grow and it will help you be notified when we drop new videos. But for now guys, good luck disabling that racing line and I'll see you on track.